Today we're recording on Gadigal country.
And we'd like to pay our respects to the traditional custodians of the Gadigal people.
I know you're gonna dig this.
It's like I've been given like an extra sprinkle of something.
You got layers.
Yeah, I got layers.
I was just thinking, I'm like, we're just such beautiful storytellers.
You're making a lot of sense today, girl. No, I'm done.
Let's jump into it, honest to God.
It's Gay Christmas.
Gay Christmas. All I want for more.
With s'mores. It is Gay Christmas here in Sydney, and the Mardi Gras, it's in its 47th year, has kicked off. Wow. It always kicks off with Fair Day, and I was a part of that day. It was great.
Were you at Fair Day?
Yeah,
I was at Fair Day.
Yeah, but I didn't see you. I did walk past the Mecca. You were with Mecca, right? But I think you might have been gone because I looked in and you weren't there.
Yeah,
so.
it was only between like 2:30 to 5.
Did you then walk around and like experience the day?
No, I was so cooked. I flew in, got my makeup done like 3 times by Max Maid, and then left.
Yeah. Because I saw Max.
Yeah, he was still around, but I didn't have the right appropriate shoes, and plus, Mia wasn't kind of dressed to do Fair Day. She was like, "Nah, I'm in like gym wear." I'm like, "And who cares?" It's like whatever, but she wasn't feeling it, so we left. But we just had a little night in. It was nice.
Yeah, nice. So tell me, Mardi Gras, it is obviously like an amazing time for our community. It is such a pivotal moment when it comes to like the history of our community as well. It's definitely built from protest, and the 78ers are such a
I know, and they're still
important part of it.
Marching to this day.
The legacy,
it's
everything that
less
they've...
and less.
I know, but and like sometimes when I look at them, I think, wow, you must have seen so much change over the years, positive change. Like the community wasn't always as accepted as it is now. But I want to ask you, what is your like favourite Mardi Gras memory? Let's kick off with our favourite, and then we can talk about some of the not so favourite.
Okay, yeah. So peaks and pits.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, I kind of only really watched Mardi Gras on TV maybe in my like mid-20s. Early 20s. And then I went in my mid-20s.
Yeah.
So my first ever Mardi Gras was with Are You Okay? And that was post-Bachelor. And so that was like 2019 I went.
Yeah.
I was actually in a heteronormative relationship. I was with Nick 2.0.
Yeah.
And I went with Are You Okay to March, and I was meant to be on the float, but I ended up doing an interview with Courtney Act.
Oh.
And so I was like running to this like the little TV setup that they had.
Yeah.
And I'd say honestly one of my favourite moments to this day was meeting Samantha Jade in the green room before that interview.
Wow.
And she knew who I was.
Okay.
And her mum was a fan.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh, my God.
And they're from Perth.
And they're from Perth.
They're from Perth.
So I was like, this is awesome. That was my biggest like highlight, I think, of and I guess also meeting G-Flip for the first time.
Yeah.
That was really fun. I really enjoyed that. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Mardi Gras, there's so many crossovers with people in the community. You always run into someone you meet someone who you've been looking up to for years. I'm sure that would have happened to you many times. Like a lot of people would have come up to you and said hello.
Kind of. It was so weird. I mean, back in the day when I was marching, and you're like, it's such a high. And I'm sure you've marched a few times in your life. So, people are yelling from the gates, and you kind of like run over and give them a hug and a kiss and take a photo, and then you kind of run back, and it's just exciting. Like it's just a nice, really wholesome vibe, and it's just so filled with so much love. But yeah, what was your peak of Mardi Gras?
Oh, my peak of Mardi Gras has to be when I've been like hosting, because I feel like even though it's work, it's so much fun because you get to go and talk to everyone. So it's like you have a mic, people want to open up and share their story. So it's like my first year, I remember running along with NITV and I was marching with the Darwin float. So it was the theme was like crocodile. So everything was like
your big swamp princess, Dochi.
That's me. And so I was like with Benny Gratz, Miscellaneous, Marzipan, and the funniest thing happened. The generator that was on the back of the Northern Territory float's ute actually broke down, and so. Just visualize this. So it's broken down. All the things that were blown up had like deflated. And all you can see are these two drag queens trying to start this generator like a lawnmower.
With the heels, the heels on the
But
generator.
legit,
They're
like trying to rip it out like this, and it was just such a funny thing to see. But that year, I was like running along, and every time I stopped to talk to someone, they were so excited to be on camera and to share their story, and they would maybe share a kiss with their partner or say, "I love you, mum," at home. So like there was this like elation that I felt like in that moment that I was like, wow, it actually was my first ever hosting gig, and it's what made me fall in love with sharing people's stories.
Oh my God, I love that. That's like such a pivotal moment in your career as well.
Totally.
Like it'll go down like was one of your highlights, but then also just that vibe. You can't recreate that, I guess.
No,
you know what I mean?
Not that first time.
Yeah.
It's so special, so
It's
special.
so special.
But this year the theme is free to be.
Yeah.
What do you think of the theme?
To be fair, do you know, I might be a bad gay, but like I only knew the theme this morning when I was reading an article.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, look, you're...
Don't hate me. I didn't even know. I honestly have just not... My book's just come out. I've just been so focused on that. I've just started working back with the kids.
Yep.
The podcast is obviously starting up again. We've started season 3
Yeah,
now. We're
yeah.
season 3.
Yeah.
So there's a lot happening in my
Yeah.
life. But not saying that I don't love Mardi Gras, but
Yeah.
I just haven't really been focused on it.
Totally. That's fine. I mean, not every year has to be the year that you put your all into Mardi Gras. This year, I'm actually not even going to be here. I'm going to go away.
Where are you going?
Well, I decided that this year I'm going to just go away and book an Airbnb and take myself to the coast. Like I dipped my toe in at the start of the festival, which is Fair Day. And not every year that we did the parade big last year. We went and we were at the VIP viewing area with Destination New South Wales. We were right at the top of Taylor Square, got the best vantage point. Like we really did a big last year and it was amazing. But the year before that, World Pride, another massive, massive year for us. So I feel like I'm just going to take a break. I'm not going to, do the parade. I was going to commit to the First Nations float this year, but I just think at this point I just need to put myself first, and I think I'm just like in this mode of protecting my peace.
Yeah.
So I don't want anything that's going to like sort of ruffle the feathers of my routine and structure at the moment. So I'm like very much...
Sounds wholesome.
Yeah,
It
very
sounds
much
really wholesome. Yeah.
keen on just having like a low-key weekend with my partner.
Yeah. I mean, that, you can have that type of Mardi Gras as well. Like
Totally.
to not, dishonor the fact that you can go and it can be really chilled. You can watch it, but I'd rather just watch it from my house and like the comfort of my own home with my girlfriend. But I'm going to be in Brisbane as well. I'm actually going to be away. I fly into Brisbane Friday, there Saturday, and then home that night. So pretty much a big weekend of book stuff, which is exciting. I mean, my book is, celebrates First Nations culture and queer love. So, I'm kind of doing my own celebration in a different way. I'm doing that, obviously working, but also celebrating the fact that this is the second release of, this is my second book. It's a teenage fiction. That's the audience that I'd love to be, catering for. And I mean, as much as I would love to be at Mardi Gras, my focus is on the kids.
Totally.
So But I've had some pretty unusual experiences at Mardi Gras, if I'm being honest. It's all been love, beautiful celebration, acceptance. But then I've had some moments that have been some quite triggering, to be fair with you. I worked with a brand, which I will never do again. Mardi Gras for me is going to be, moving forward, is I think going to be, I want to go because I want to be with my people and I want to celebrate and I want to
not for work.
Yeah, I just think for work, it's just it's not, in my eyes, it's so worth it being there and it's so worth the money as well if you're being paid. But I don't think it's worth the things that I've experienced, which I was a couple of years ago. Milo Hartil can vouch for this.
Yeah.
I'm going to drag her into this. But we went with a brand, but the experiences we had were she got fat shamed the first 5 minutes of us meeting our team.
What?
Yeah. One of the ladies who were working for the PR company actually turned around and said, "Oh, you're real confident wearing that."
Wow.
And she was like, "Well, it's Mardi Gras." And she got fat shamed.
That's disgusting.
The second thing was one of the sort of higher staff members. I think she was like lead of a department. Won't name names. Kind of tokenized me. Like, oh, this is Brooke. She's my Indigenous friend.
What?
Yeah. And Milo was there, and I remember looking at her being like, is this really happening right now in this moment? Yeah. And, a bit sus that, 3 of the girls that were meant to be looking after us just kept disappearing and coming back and disappearing and coming back and, not actually looking after us. So, yeah, not to out them, but I feel like, these are the experiences that have kind of tainted my experience as well, but also like,
In that moment, were you like...
why are these people being a part of the parade? That's what I mean.
Did you feel unsafe?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to go.
Yeah.
They were meant to be looking after us. I did some interviews with Francesca Hung. Went to go do an interview. They had my phone and my belongings, and then all of a sudden they disappeared.
Wow.
And they're like, oh, we've taken them back to like where the base camp is. And I'm like, how am I meant to get there? That was like a couple of kilometers. We walked all here. It was horrific. That year was horrific, and I really did taint my experience but it's nothing to do with Sydney Mardi Gras. It's actually to do with the company.
Yeah.
But that's probably my pit. Like that's really shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel
My
like that
pit.
was like crap.
I think that's like such a disgusting experience, and the people obviously don't have any like awareness of where they are and what they're doing. Like,
exactly, like why?
Where's the like cultural
it's called
safety?
whitewashing, isn't it?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
called
Pinkwashing.
Pinkwashing.
Yeah. But I definitely have a pit for Mardi Gras, but it's sort of a funny pit. When I was my first ever Mardi Gras, I was like 19 years old, and I was going with my friend Oliver, and we were at the... we didn't know what to wear. So it was like one of those things where you're young and like you're not really prepared. You probably didn't have the money to buy an outfit. So we were like, what can we wear? And we went into our closet and we were like living together, and I was like, oh, what should we wear? And he was like, well, I've got a white shirt that has stripes. You have a white shirt that has stripes and white shorts. Why don't we be slutty sailors? And I was like, oh my God, genius at the age, 19, thinking that was the coolest outfit ever. So we put on these white shorts, these stripy white shirts, and just rolled up the shorts a little bit and rolled up the sleeves and called ourselves slutty sailors, like absolute fucking losers. And anyway, we get to the after party, and like we had tickets for the after party, and we were in line pretty early because we wanted to get in. And I don't know if you've ever been like sniffed by a sniffer dog. Like, I was anxiously like in this line, and the sniffer dog wouldn't leave me alone. It was really scary. And so I was like with my friends, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? What the hell is going on? But I feel like the people around us had drugs, because I didn't do drugs. Like, I was a good boy in my teens, and somebody around us obviously had drugs, and the sniffer dog just wouldn't let me go. Like, it was like...
So did you get in?
Well, I got in, but I was really scared. Like, it was such like a terrifying moment for me as like a young
19-year-old.
young queer person. First Mardi Gras, I felt like, for some reason, I felt like they were like really zoning in on me. I might have been paranoid, but I just remember feeling so scared and nervous that like it sort of ruined my start of my Mardi Gras. But other than that, I've had fucking great Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras for me has been awesome. I met my first boyfriend at Mardi Gras, who I was with for 6 years, and the last year taking my boyfriend's best friend who came from Colombia to Mardi Gras and doing the whole VIP experience. That was also epic. So I feel like I've done Mardi Gras really well over the years, but this year just going to give it a pass.
Well, I was going to ask you what you are looking forward to, but if you were going, if we were going, one, what would our outfits be?
I know what mine would be, because I already workshopped this with the First Nations float. So I sort of agreed to go. I actually did. I was like, I would love to be a part of it. And then I sort of just, once I had got back into my own space and in my own head, and I was like, it's probably not the best this year. I was going to wear like a bedazzled black lap.
Ooh, okay, beautiful.
Everything was black and black.
explain to what people won't know what a lap lap is.
Yeah, so basically the First Nations float theme this year was Black Royalty.
Ooh.
And so Linda Burney, Isaac Compton, Barker, myself, I think even you were asked. There were a few people that were asked to be these 6 sort of pillars of the community. I know, very cool.
Like, honoured.
And so I was like thinking, what can I wear? And I really felt like, okay, so I really wanted to have that intersection of, you know, my sexuality and my identity and my culture. And so I was like a lap, but
also like glam.
And then there's also this bundi that I personally made at home when I was in my early 20s. And so I made this bundi and I was like gonna bedazzle the bundi. And so I was gonna do like a bedazzled lap, which is basically just
like a skirt slash
it looks like honestly, it looks like a nappy.
It does look like a nappy.
But it has such cultural significance. It's what you wear at ceremony. It's what, traditionally was worn by men in the tribe. It is a piece of cloth that goes around the waist.
Just like jocks, really. Yeah,
basically just to cover up your private parts. But I was actually thinking that I would do like the front would look like a lap and the back would be like a jock strap.
That's kind of hard.
Iconic.
That is iconic. So it's like business in the front
party in the back.
Stop.
And then I was gonna like maybe put on my back like land
Maddie's
back.
That big budu.
Yeah,
bum.
big budu. Big budu. I mean, not big budu.
Big bum.
So I was like, I was looking forward to it. Then I thought, oh no, like I just can't get there. I just can't do it this year. So that's what I would have worn. What about you?
Ooh, I don't. If I was on the blackfella flow, I would have probably tried to, bedazzle something. Yeah. Probably similar.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have varied in my outfits. One year I wore like practically like undies and like a strapless top and then like this beaded dress over the top.
Oh, yeah.
That was my first year. And then my second year I wore like stockings, like this one piece with like it was long sleeve and then like blue boots.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was I was with a brand and their colours were blue. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm in my tie era.
Oh, yeah.
So I feel like I probably would have done like a preppy
vibe?
Preppy vibe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like preppy rainbow kind of vibe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Cool.
Yeah.
And so because you're now in a relationship with a woman, let's go there. How is it going? Like, do you feel the gay love?
We do. We haven't really spoken about Mardi Gras, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Like, I think Mia's kind of deciding what she wants to do. She's flying back. She's coming to Melbourne on Thursday.
Oh, great.
And she is flying back to Sydney on the Friday and I'm flying to Brisbane.
Yeah.
So she kind of doesn't know what she wants to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I've already told her I'm away. I'd love for her to come to Brisbane, obviously, for the book stuff, but she does have work commitments in life.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going good. It's really good.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. We're seeing each other a lot. I mean, we're kind of nailing this long distance thing, to be fair with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You're not
good.
letting it get too far
No, not too far. I mean, we looked, now we'll probably have like a joint calendar soon.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean...
But feeling the love.
Yeah. Well,
what about you and Danny?
Yeah.
You're going to go away. So you're going to
away.
have a wholesome. Are you going to
not do any pranks? I also just spent $3,000 on Beyonce tickets.
I know.
And so I also
That's love.
am about to book my flights to Europe for my 30th. So it's all about like just making sure that I'm not overdoing the spending, as well.
Of course.
So we want to go away, but I'm not going to like book some luxe place. It's going to be like some little shack on the beach somewhere,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, talking about like obviously on the topic of Mardi Gras and everything, what's it in and out? I think we've already known that was like pink washing.
Mm. Yeah.
But what's an in for Mardi Gras?
I think an in for Mardi Gras is, I definitely feel like it's
corporates out.
Corporates out. Well, I think corporates are needed.
Corporates are needed for money and sponsorships.
Yeah.
But their ethics and their values need to be on par with what Sydney Mardi Gras stands for. What we've seen
this year is that the big corporates who were once a sponsor, now their principles and their values don't align with Mardi Gras, which is just ridiculous. And so they've actually
kind of disappointing.
stood down from being a major organisation sponsor. So that's Google and Meta that I'm talking about. So yeah, and I
you
think
can go read it at the Guardian actually, because there was a really good article about it.
So I think that that's obviously come from the hierarchy of those organisations and what they've currently.
But they're protecting, our space. I say our as in like our queer spaces. They're making sure that whoever aligned in those.
But you know what? The thing is, those organisations stepped down. They weren't asked to be removed. So as much as Mardi Gras say that they would have, I don't know if they would have, because of how much input those companies have in terms of money. So there's a fine balance between like how much you can get from someone and what you know that you don't agree with. But I think that because Google and Meta stood down themselves, they weren't asked to. I think that shows that those companies aren't going to be a safe place for queer people.
Yeah.
Especially in the online world, social world,
Yeah.
It's pretty scary.
That is a bit scary.
But look who they align with.
Yeah, true, yes. So do a bit of research, guys, because you just never know. There's some really good work happening at the moment with I was looking at a few pages about, people unpacking what this all means politically, and then what it filters down to Australia. But yeah, now it's, it does affect everyone in a way. Yeah. In a way.
But you know what?
Blah, blah, blah.
Put that aside for the weekend and go and have a great Mardi Gras. We will be there in spirit, but we won't be there in person. But yeah, I mean, have a wonderful time. Let your hair down, do whatever makes you feel love. Yeah, and be free to be.
I mean, if you wanted to read about that Google and Meta stuff, you could probably find it in our show notes. Actually,
don't Google it.
Don't literally. Yes, go to our show notes and click the Guardian.
Totally. Well, that's all we have time for today, but thanks for listening to First Things First. If you love what you hear, leave us a rating or a little review.
And if you want us to cover anything next week, reach out via our socials. My handle is at Brooke.Blurton. Maddie's handle is at It's Maddie Mills. See you next week. Bye.
Have fun at Mardi Gras.
Happy Mardi Gras. Love is in the air.
Okay, wait. Favourite gay song?
Love's I'm coming out.
Ooh, slay. Mine is Break Free Ariana Grande. Hey Siri, play Break Free Ariana Grande.
Literally.